What's up, gamers? Tadradan here with the Uber Noobs, and today we're going to be talking about XCOM 2. And when I first heard that Firaxis Games was going to be re-releasing this, I was super excited about it because it's a gameplay style that I really love. Now, I take a look at some of the other review sites out there, and it never fails. Everyone's screaming about the game. While I enjoy the game greatly, it is not an 8.5 out of 10 or a 4.5 out of 5, alright? So here at the Uber Noobs, we're gamers, for gamers, honest reviews always. I tell you what, see what I've got to say in this video and decide for yourself.
Hello, Commander. The council you once knew is no more. Its membership have all sworn loyalty to the Advent administration.
Firaxis and 2K Games released XCOM 2 on February 5th. Now, XCOM 2, just like the original XCOM, is not a game style for everyone because it is a turn-based game, and some people need more of that run and gun stuff. They need that non-stop action. For those that do like turn-based games, it's too tactical for them, and it's too nuanced in how you have to go about in getting your upgrades and materials and supplies, and how you really have to manage your economy within in the game very effectively, or you will lose big time. Now, overall, I give this game 2.5 out of 5. That's because there are still some major issues in the game mechanics which they still may be able to fix, but they should not have been out during release. And really, the graphics, while some of the rendered scenes look really good, they really did not push the graphics to the level that we see most modern games. Their graphics system is really lacking. It's a huge improvement over XCOM Enemy Within, a huge improvement, but it doesn't keep pace with most modern games. Occasionally the camera will drift off into a building during an action sequence, so all you see is the roof or a wall, and you're not able to see the actual animated attack sequence, which is usually pretty cool. There are a variety of other simple UI and graphics issues that should have never been an issue to begin with, but unfortunately for us as gamers, this really is the era that we live in, where game developers and producers are rushing to go to market with unfinished, untested product, because a lot of these things that they're having issues with, they would have caught if they had really done their due diligence and did some quality control and some testing before packaging the game and delivering it to us. For the most part though, the graphics are sharp, they're crisp, they're clear. I still feel that they're a little bit more cartoony than they should, and again, you know, they're not up to par with most of your high-end modern games. So overall, I'm going to give the graphics 3.5 out of 5. Without spoiling too much, but it feels like they tried to pull something out of J.J. Abrams' playbook. The commander is captured, the council collapses, world leaders surrender to the aliens, Advent, and XCOM is left in shambles. While the ending of XCOM Enemy Within, it ended in a huge victory. And yet XCOM 2 starts off 20 years after the alien occupation began. It just doesn't make any sense, but it was never an epic story to begin with. Plenty of poor writing, cheesy acting. Then again, I don't play XCOM for the story anyways. Another point of contention for me is the removal of one of my favorite types of squad members. Again, I don't want to spoil anything for those of you that do wish to play this game, but you won't be bashing through walls anytime soon. That being said, overall, I give the XCOM story 2 stars. There really isn't lore to discover in this game. It wouldn't fit much in this game anyways. Sure, you can get random items that can be researched for added dimension to the story, as well as some unlocking items to build and equip onto your soldiers for perks. But there isn't any lore to discover that adds a real depth to the game. So for the lore, we're going to go ahead and give it 0 stars. On the economy, I'm reluctant to be as generous as I'm going to be because it feels that it's way too random. I enjoy the variety of items that you have to try and recover from engineers and scientists to supplies and components. However, it is a total crapshoot on what you get most of the time. For instance, say you really want to number up the scientists you have. Well, you got a 50-50 chance of getting a scientist from guerrilla missions, but you don't know what you'll have a chance of getting until the mission spawns. And you rarely have more than one mission available at a time, whether it's a guerrilla mission or a main story mission. And speaking of time, that definitely is one of the items that you'll never have enough of, and you will have to make tough choices in the game because you won't have time to save everybody. Heck, if you're lucky, you'll be able to help the people you're actually trying to help. So for the economy, we're giving it 4 stars. And that is mainly because of how much you have to manage your resources in this game. And you really will have to make tough choices. There's going to be routes that you just can't go. While I do enjoy how challenging the game is, the replay level is low if existent at all. Sure, there is a multiplayer mode if you can ever find another player that is online. Most of the multiplayer modes give you 90 seconds per turn and then another 30 seconds for the system to catch up before the other player starts their turn. There is definitely some latency. Most of the time your opponent will actually see your moves after you've ended your turn. Now for the main story quest, while they try to make it seem like the decisions that you make in this game will affect the final outcome, they really don't. It really is a linear game. What it does affect is how soon or how much time it takes for certain events to trigger. And I think that most of the main story quest is tied to research, where they will execute some type of other quest, or in rare instances where you get multiple quests, the quest that you choose triggers another chain of events, and that has an effect within that part of the story, but not the total story. It really is just going to affect how easy your final few missions are going to be for you because of how your squad is actually equipped. So for the replay, we're just going to go ahead and give it 1 star. Now, while this game doesn't score very high overall, it is a nostalgic turn-based style play that leaves this as one of my favorite casual games. The tactics involved need a little bit of tweaking because it doesn't quite work the way it was intended in my opinion. It really leans way too much on the random number generator. So sometimes you set up an ambush, but the enemy gets to shoot you first, even though everything was set up right. So there's a lot of problems with the combat system because of how heavily focused they are on the randomness. That's it for this XCOM 2 review. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel so that you can get notified as soon as we upload our new videos. We've got the XCOM 2 Battle Tactics video that's going to come out later this week with some hints and tips. Check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/theubernoobs. We've got that additional Fallout 4 data that's going to be posted here in the next day or so. And we've got some other great stuff in the works. Stay tuned. Check us out on Facebook. You get notified of everything we've got going on. Thank you very much.